My girlfriend, that through thick and thin. My girlfriend.
Hey, girlfriends, and welcome to Girlfriends Unscripted.
Today we're talking about something that shows up in almost every relationship, but we can't quite name it. Emotional responsibility. A lot of relationship frustration comes from us just expecting our partners to know what we need.
We expect them to read our mood, understand our stress, and respond in the way that we hope that they will. But the truth is, our partners are not mind readers. Emotional maturity in a relationship isn't about someone magically knowing what you need. It's about learning how to communicate those needs clearly and respectfully. So today, we plan on taking you from emotionally immature to emotionally mature in a relationship. So let's get into it. All right. I think this is such a good topic, like just up and coming from everything that we've already been talking about,
Yeah.
and like really like talking about how like our partners need to know our love language, and how partners not knowing what we need. And I think that it does need to be addressed, like in order to be like emotionally mature in your relationship and in any relationship. I think like work, friendships,
Yeah.
partners, there's a level of emotional maturity that we need to have. And so I think
Yeah, go ahead.
what? Go ahead, girl.
That's one of my biggest problems is communicating, you know. So being able to just sit there and be like, hey, this is what's going on, this is what I need.
I think one of the biggest problems is just expecting your partner to know what you need.
Yeah,
Or
like,
to know what you want. And
yeah.
I think like sometimes I could come off like that because I am a very observant partner.
yeah.
And so sometimes I expect my partner to be just as observant, but we're all individuals. We're all different people. And so if you don't communicate it, you could think that they know, but they probably really don't have any
Yeah, because for
idea.
me, it's kind of weird. Like, when you looking, like, when my spouse is looking, like, sad or something, I'm already knowing 10 steps ahead of you.
Yeah, like I know you're
first of all, I
concerned.
already seen this coming. I already knew you was finna be upset about this.
Yeah.
You know, so just being on the other side is like, I talked about this a month ago. You knew. Why you don't know why I'm upset? Or
Yeah,
why
but that's where the frustration comes in, because
Yeah.
it's just like we expect them to know. We're like, okay, if you love me and you paying attention and you know me as a person, then you would know that today I was sad, or today, or that frustrated me because X, Y, and Z happened. But at the end of the day, they're not mind readers, so they don't know what you need, or they don't know. They could be observant, but they might not know exactly what you need and what you want from them. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to us to that. I think that could cut down a lot of issues in a relationship if we just become people that are, hey, I need this, or just communicative in what we need. Like I was talking to my friend the other day, and I think of myself like a therapist. So right now I'm doing services for free. Just kidding, but I do think of myself like as a therapist, because I could really give people valuable information. But anyways, but he had came to me and he was talking to me about his relationship and how they were having like a difficult time or whatever, and he was saying that he feels like he's doing changing and all this changing, and she wants him to do all of these things, and she's communicating that she wants him to do these things, but she's not changing anything for him. And so I'm like, what have you communicated to her that you want her to change? And he was like, well, nothing. And I'm like, okay, so what I'm hearing is that she communicated these things that she needs in order for her to feel, like you are acknowledging her, but you haven't communicated anything. He's like, well, she should just know. I just told her to be my peace. How does she know what that looks like for you?
Peace,
What is being your peace? For like for some person, you being my peace could be something else from this person. I said, so if you don't communicate what it is that you actually need, and you just expecting this person to know because they know you, because they love you, because y'all together,
Yeah.
you are like, number one, you're making yourself upset. You're making yourself angry, and you're every day you're thinking that they should know this. Is just building up resentment in you.
Yeah, I think that people do feel like they should already know what you need, or that because you love me, we've been together X amount of years. How come you can't figure out what my
What
piece
I need.
is? But then, for me, I kind of like can say that, but I can't say that because like we said, like I can read that piece. Some people can actually read what that person's piece
I
is.
think I could read it.
Yeah.
I think that I know.
But you can't expect that from.
But you can't expect it just because that's something that you can do, and that's something that
Yeah.
you read what they need. Um, a lot of times men don't think in that way, and maybe like whoever your partner is don't think in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I could see that you having a bad day, but I necessarily don't know what it is or what you need or anything like that. And so I think like even I've seen like in you before, like you'd be like, well, why didn't they just do that? What did you ask them to do it? Well, they should know I want them to do it. Well, how would they know what you want them to do if you haven't told them what to do? And if you tell them what to do, I'm sure they will do it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you could assume they know, but then that comes back on you.
But sometimes, like, even in that, just seeing a person down or feeling upset, you should know, like, the things that would lighten their mood, I feel like even if it's something that, you can't even control, I think with coming with being my peace, it's like, oh, you see I'm having a rough day, order me, like, you know what I'm saying? Send me flowers or, Starbucks.
And
or
I think
whatever.
that that stuff don't require you to know what's wrong with me.
or
So
what
that comes with the effort.
being a piece, like that could be a piece, like you comforting me in my time, that.
So do you think though that you would still need to communicate like, hey, if you see I'm having a rough day, like sometimes I want you to do this or I want you to do that. Like, what would it hurt to communicate that?
Of course, because I feel like with in my relationship, there's been different type of lovers. You know what I'm saying? Like girls that didn't require so much. Or for me, it was like I like this type of stuff, but I no, those are things that were communicated. Like what we going out on a date. Just coming from a different relationship where they didn't care about going out on a date, or they didn't care about quality time. Like as long as you here at night, we sleep.
Then I don't care
chill.
about what happens through the day.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to understand and recognize people are different. People have been through different things. People have dated different people.
Yeah.
Some people have a requirement, some people don't. Like you gonna open my door.
Yeah.
And maybe the person you was with before didn't require you to open their door. But hey babe, can you open my door? Like when I get in the car, I want you to open my door. When I walk through here, I want you to open my door. Like some people don't know that, and I think like thinking about it now, that's one of the things that my friend, his girlfriend had told him. Like I want you to open the doors for me, and I want you to do X, Y, and Z. And so he adjusted and he did that, but then he still felt like he was being overlooked in what he needed.
But no one did.
But never communicated what he needed.
So what does emotional responsibility look like for you?
I think emotional responsibility is like communicating your needs, communicating what you do need. And it's my responsibility to tell my partner, hey, when you talk to me like that, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel X, Y, and
Z. Yeah.
Instead of now I'm meeting you where you at. You talking to me crazy, I'm talking to you crazy. And I really don't even want to do this. But I'm talking to you crazy because you're talking to me crazy. And emotional responsibility is like, hey, don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And being very clear and firm in what you require and what you
what
need,
you want.
And what you want and what you expect the relationship to look like.
Yeah, I think for me it's recognizing exactly what I'm feeling, or why I'm feeling this way, and what would make me feel better or in the relationship, or what I could need from you. I mean, I think I came away from not doing it at all to doing it about this much. But I think honestly I'm kind of getting there, because I was like a closed off, like you should know what I'm feeling, or you should know why I'm looking at you like this. But
yeah, it's like being mature and saying, let me express what I feel. Let me express
and
what
I
I
think
need.
what comes with that though is feeling safe and being able to do that, because some people don't feel safe with the response or what would come following you being able to be that vulnerable with somebody, being like, oh, this makes me sad. That's opening the door for
Yeah, your soft side to
yeah.
come
So you
out.
have to feel safe to be able to express those things to your partner.
Yeah, and I think like it could be easy to place like the blame on your partner for not meeting the
Oh
needs,
yeah.
but being like emotionally clear and telling them this is what I need, then that's on your part. That's showing emotional maturity, and a lot of times we don't do that.
Yeah.
We in a relationship. We've been together 2 years. You should know this is what I need,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think that's part of the problem. People expect a mind reader.
Yeah, and I feel like people do expect a mind reader. Like I said before, it's like feeling like you may be rejected, or they may like look at you a certain way. So you expect them to be like, I'm afraid to open myself up like that because I just want to play it safe. You know,
Or you want them to prove that they care about you enough
Yeah.
to express those feelings, to let you know like that really hurt my feelings. And sometimes it may feel like yeah, like it is scary to say like, hey, that hurt my feelings, especially when you got this hard shell, you have this exterior, you're not supposed to have these feelings, or feel like
yeah.
something got to you, but just being safe enough to say, hey, that hurt my feelings when you did that, or that hurt my feelings when you said that.
I think too, people think with saying like, oh, you hurt. Sometimes you don't have a partner that would be like compromising in that. Like, how did I hurt your feelings? What can I do?
What can I do
to change that? You can have a partner that'll be like, oh, I didn't do that, or you know, just want to argue, or you know, cause a bigger scene than needs to be, just by you expressing how you feel about what they did to you. So I think that makes it hard to be able to express what you feel.
So I mean, I guess what you're saying is like you have to be in a place where you can feel safe to say that, like, when you did that, that really hurt me, and not getting up like I didn't do that,
Yeah.
and whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that also like ties back into having a safe space, and being in a place where you and your partner can unpack a conversation in a healthy way,
Yeah.
without emotions getting involved. And sometimes it's feelings, and like Pastor said, feelings lie sometimes. Sometimes we feel a way, but that doesn't mean that that's the truth, because
Right.
that's how we feel. But also being in a space to where if I express to you how I feel, you don't get to now express what you didn't do. Like,
Yeah.
that's my feelings right now, and I'm telling you how I feel, and being
Because it's two different views of it. Like, just because you meant it this way, I can tell you, like, okay, the approach that you came at me with,
it don't sit well with me.
Yeah.
It doesn't land
And
here.
that should be accepted. You should be able to accept that as an emotionally responsible
Adult
partner.
Yeah. Adult partner.
You should
friend.
be able to accept that. Like, okay, even though I didn't mean it that way, this is, let me correct how I came about it. And I think that a lot of times communication, people don't know how to communicate. So it's hard for you to accept that.
Yeah, and I think that goes a long way. Not even in partnerships, like in friendships. Like, if somebody tells you that you offended them,
Yeah.
or that you did something, you just don't get to say like, "Well, I didn't mean it like
I
that."
think sometimes I do that. I feel like sometimes.
Talk about something.
Sometimes I be like, one of my friends told me, like, I be like, well, I mean it in a good way, like, and she was like, some people do not accept it.
That you meant it that way.
Like, people know, like, I'm just be like, girl, why one of your eyebrows was up and the other one was down? And I don't mean it like, girl, you look crazy. I'll be like, girl, you look crazy. Like, your eyebrow was up and the other one you drew down. And I don't actually mean it like that. I'll be coming like from a friend place, like, girl, and let's just be like, and I'll be like, okay, take it, whatever.
But you gotta understand that some people are sensitive.
Yeah.
So even though when it comes off like to you, like it's just
It's
whatever.
just girl talk.
But some people are more sensitive, and so if a friend tells you like, I don't like when you say stuff like that to me, like you have to accept that and be like, okay, I know that.
I wonder if any of my friends just learned to accept it, or do they really want to tell me like, girl, calm?
They probably. I mean, but if they don't communicate, you probably will never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel
I
like
think we both the same way. Like
feel
we're
like-
just gonna say what's on our mind. So
yeah, and even like our other friend, Rebecca, she be like, sometimes she be coming off at me kind of hard, and I be like, well, what? But I have to know, like, it's me too. That's exactly how I would come at her. Like, girl, you sounded stupid, dumb, and retarded
when you said that,
So yeah, so I understand that a little bit more than I did before because I really be like, girl, I did not mean it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I literally just did you, like not like that, but I
Yeah.
said every crazy book word that could have been said, and I'd be like, I didn't mean it like that. Like, you gotta accept that some people may take it the wrong way.
Yes.
Or take it not the wrong way, take it how they feel, and it could come off aggressive or whatever. It doesn't mean
like
it's the wrong
like
way.
when you just said the R word. I think the R word is very offensive.
Remember when your classmates said that? And
yeah,
like,
and I
they
think
said the R word. I'm like,
I think that the R word is very expensive to me and to probably to other people. And I do verbalize that I don't like when people say the R word because it's to me like it is there. That is a thing.
what is
So
it?
the R word.
I know it R word.
Yeah. Well, when you think of something like that uses the R word, that's really how people are identified as.
Mm.
So when you use it in a negative context, then it's kind of offensive.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't like.
I do think this world has become a lot soft because I mean
I know, like back in the day, we
that
used
was-
to say it all the time,
and it
but
was not. I feel like the world has just become so soft.
yeah,
Like everything hurts my feelings. You can't use this word.
but it's okay. It's okay if people feel that way, and it's not even like. I don't think that it has to be explained. Like if you're offended by something,
Yeah.
you're offended by something, and I respect that as somebody that cares about you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that again because it offends you. So it's kind of like same thing in your relationship. Like if they say something that offended you, and you like you will be like what, like what?
I would
But
expect
also,
them to. I think personally, when it comes to like that, if it offended me and I come back to you like, hey, that offended me, and
how would it make you feel if they
No,
brushed you off?
No, if they brush me off, yeah, but if they be like, oh, I did not mean to say it like this. This is exactly how I'm gonna correct how I said it, but it came out that way. But I said it like I didn't mean it in a harmful way. I will respect that. I won't be like, well, don't say that again. Oh, now I get where you coming from when you say that. It's no problem there. That's how I would take that situation with my partner. Like, long as you being like, I don't mean to say it like, no, don't get it wrong. Then I'll be okay with that. It's for you to use it in that concept again. And I'm not that sensitive. That's why I think if you can explain or cover up to what you really meant, I'm not gonna be like that's the way. I'm not.
Sometimes when people say that's not how they meant it, I can accept it if I feel like it's genuine.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't feel like it's genuine, I'm just gonna be like, okay, well, don't say that
Of course,
to me again, like, cause I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really don't think that I'm like a really hypersensitive person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really believe we all know that I'm a thug. So I don't think that I'm a hypersensitive person. But some stuff that people say, and I'm just like, why'd you say that? But I will say that. Like
Yeah.
I will voice myself, and I will be like, I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like how you said that to me, or I didn't like how you did that. And so I think that I'm very communicative in the things that I want or the things that I need.
Yeah.
And so, not to say that I'm all the way emotionally mature because, like just last week I cut somebody off because,
You never
whatever.
cut them on.
I
all the way,
never
but
cut
I
them
don't
on
even
all
know
the
how
way,
you
but
cut 'em
anyway.
off. But okay.
But now they triple cut off. That's a triple homicide. But anyways, I think that for me, just showing like my emotional maturity is just like, hey, this is my love language. This is what I need from you. Like, I'm not really a flower person, but I've been in my older age, I've found that if I'm having a hard day and somebody gets me flowers, it's just like a sweet gesture.
Yeah.
And I'll put them in water and I'll save them or whatever. But I think those things don't come from communication.
Mhm.
Those things come from observation.
Yeah.
Like you have to observe your partner, and there's some things that communication is not going to get you to do. There's some things that just come from you having a heart or a love for your person that, you know what, I know they had a long day today. When they get home, I'm gonna have their bath water ran with some soap and some rose petals and a glass of apple cider champagne, whatever they like to drink, their favorite soda, if it's Dr. Pepper, like whatever. I'm gonna have that for them because I know that they had a hard day. But I think that also comes with you being in a place that you feel safe enough to love them in that way. And a lot of relationships, maybe they're so back and forth that there's no place to feel safe. There's no, time to where I feel safe with you. And so, but a conversation could fix it.
Mhm.
But because one person is expecting this person to know and this person expecting that person to know, it's just going to keep going on like a ripple effect. So I think that sometimes a conversation is all you need to really like change it around or to really like reset.
Yeah, I think also when you don't do that, it builds up resentment, and you start to like feel a certain way like about your partner. You start looking at other things that don't even align with what y'all going through, like just trying to find any and every problem because of that little thing that could have just like fixed the whole.
Yeah, I think that unspoken expectations are the driving force into resentment. So you have these unspoken expectations that you feel like your partner should be doing.
Yeah.
You have these things that you feel like your partner should be doing, and the more that you expect them to do this, but you don't communicate it, the more resentment that's growing. You're like planting a seed of resentment because instead of communicating, you're like, they should know, they should do this, they should already have
Definitely. Like, or you feel like they don't even care to even look into how you're feeling, or when it's a simple conversation or something that could kind of fix all of that.
And I think like also when we go into conversations, we have a response that we already want. We already have a way that we want them to respond. We already
because
know.
you already practice it. Like, all right, I'm finna say this, and they supposed
they
to
gonna-
say this.
And then
Or-
but what happens when they don't say what you?
Then you off track. You don't know what to do. You liable to blow up. You don't know. Take it down the wrong street because this was not part of the script, sir.
It turns out like over time after it's just like, oh well, they should have said this, or they should have did this, or they should have did that, and it's like you don't get to decide how they respond. And I think that part of being emotionally mature is going in open minded, going in with you're an individual, I'm an individual. How you respond is not how I'm going to respond, but I'm going to respect you anyway. I'm going to respect your opinion. I'm going to respect what you have to say because I care about you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when we are silent about how we feel, that, sometimes we build up this anger, passive aggressive, like, pass me the chips. They don't even know why. They just snap their hair like, why she so... because they don't even know what's going on. Like, you got all of these problems in your head that you haven't spoke. For me, honestly, I get the cleaning walls. If you see me scrubbing walls,
talk about some.
If I get the sweeping the floor hard, then you better know. One day, my boyfriend, he's like, he on the phone with his sister. He like, I think Ashley mad or something because she in there scrubbing every wall. I started from the back bathroom, our bathroom, all the way to the front, to the hallway. I was my music on. I'm going.
Yeah, I think when needs go unspoken, that's when
but
frustration
me,
can show up in other ways.
I think I have to do that first. I have to scrub the wall so I can get my thoughts together, and then I can come off the way that I need to come off. Because otherwise, I'm coming off hot. Probably. Just me personally, I'm probably gonna come off hot. So I do have to like scrub the walls, let some little bit of time pass. I like to scrub the walls. That's my thing to do.
I think, because once you get frustrated, then now you got the silent treatment.
Yeah.
Now you're not speaking to this person. Now you emotionally distant because you feel like they should know. Like, I know, like, for me, if something happens, like, I don't have to address it immediately, but it has to be addressed. Yeah. And if it's not addressed, then now I'm kind of closed off a little bit because you know what you did yesterday and you didn't say nothing about it today. And you acting like everything's sweet. And so instead, and honestly, like, I learned this from a hard way, I'm still mad.
Yeah.
Because you haven't addressed it. And my last partner was like, I didn't even know you were still mad. Like, I didn't even know that. I thought we had gotten over that. And to me, it's like, how did we get over it? Did we have a conversation?
Yeah.
Did we talk about it? Did we communicate that there was an issue? Did you acknowledge that there was something wrong?
I think I used to do that to where you could assume that I was over it. But I do not do that anymore. Like, before I used to be like, because then it's like, we just pick up like nothing ever happened.
And I don't like that because you're holding on to it.
Yeah, I'm the only one that's when you thinking out everything's sweet. It's not sweet. So I don't do that anymore until I can communicate. I stay in the state that I am.
Washing walls.
So, and then when I'm ready, then I'll, but I can't.
And I think sometimes that's emotional immaturity. You expect your partner to notice it. And so you do little things so they notice it.
I don't care if you notice. I need to mentally clean my wall so that I can get my thoughts together. Like I don't. Then I'll come around and I'll talk to you after I've calm myself down or whatever the situation may be. If it's not even that hot to where I gotta clean the wall. I mean, calm myself down because I'm having a conversation, like you said, I'm having a conversation with myself, figuring out like how I'm finna come about this. What I'm finna say, okay.
Yeah, but I don't have to. That's probably, but I'm speaking on the sense of like being in the space of emotional immaturity to where like you're mad at your partner and instead of going to your partner and communicating, hey, this upset me, now you slamming cabinets, now you purposely walking away or walking off or slamming doors or you purposely whatever you doing to get their attention so that they know that you're mad. Like it brings me back to the statement that I said before, like what we already know you upset. We can see about the things that you're doing, but what are you going to do about it? Like how are you going to develop into a mature emotional adult to where you're like, hey, I'm upset right now and this is what upset me. I'm going to take a few seconds so that I can or whatever time that you need, but like you have to be emotionally mature and communicate. This bothered me. And it's something like not sometimes little things could bother you, but it's not to where you're in this place where like I'm mad because you didn't do what I told you to do. Like that's not something that should bother you because we're both adults here and we both have opinions and we both have things that we desire and things that we want to do. So if you get to the point to where you feel like now you finna walk around with attitude and try to control me with your energy, with your emotions, that's when I got a problem. Because I don't do that to me. You know what I'm saying? If you got a problem, speak up. Say something. Other than that, stop with that weird energy. Like that truly like brings a trigger to me because people instead of like communicating, hey, that you did this or this I took it this way. They're gonna try to act like they cool, but still doing little things to show they not cool and still really like going about it in a way where, okay, now I'm going to make sure they know that I'm upset. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Like, could you grow up?
Yeah, because especially like for me, you can't do that to me. You can't try to slam doors or
what you going to do?
I'm going to walk away. I like walk out the house. I'm going to ignore you. No.
You ain't.
I'm going to ignore you to the point where,
until you get mad.
No. I'm gonna ignore you till you say something directly to me. Like if you come in there, like you can slam all the doors and all the windows or anything, and if you say one thing about me, then I'm gonna respond. But if you upset, I don't listen. Cause that's why I don't feel like I do that. I feel like I kind of like just stick to myself when I'm mad. Like I'm not finna slam no doors. I'm not finna do all of that. I won't talk to you probably, but I'm not finna do all of that because it's
like passive aggressive and it's not healthy communication. Like
say it with
it's
your
not,
chest.
You know what that's what I say all the time. Say it with your chest. If you mad, say it. At least I know you said that you were mad. But being passive aggressive and just like emotionally distant, like come on now, I don't feel like doing this for 5 days. Tell me today that you mad so we can get done with it today.
When I'm ready
and we can
talk,
move
I'll
on.
talk to you.
And if you're not ready to talk at all right now, just let me know I'm upset right now and I'll be ready to talk X, Y, Z. But you should but you can't do that. You need to grow up, Ashley. You need to get
I'm gonna
over
let
that.
you know.
No,
I literally
you cannot.
have to get
That's
my
not
own
emotionally. That's not
together.
being emotionally mature though. And if you're like planning like marrying somebody, you have to have healthy communication.
We will.
And no, because the Bible says, do not let the sun go down on your wrath. So to say that I don't know when I'm going to be ready to talk to you again, like, no, that's
not like
not
that.
cool. You give me a time and you give me a day when we going to talk. If it ain't right if tonight ain't the day, tomorrow we'll talk. But you're not
What if
finna
it's
walk.
Wednesday?
You're not finna walk around mad at me for 3 days. Like, we're not finna do that.
I'm not gonna talk about the situation. I don't want to talk about it till I figure out how, like, what I'm feeling.
So what's your energy doing? How you walking? How are you connecting with me? Like what's happening?
Hey, you said something to me? Not like that. No. I'm saying you say something to me, I'm gonna respond. But that situation, I'm not ready to talk about that right now.
I can understand not talking about that situation, but so you saying that everything else gonna be cool? You gonna still be lovey-dovey how you normally do? Exactly.
I'm not even lovey-dovey anyway, so that's why it took me to the lovey-dovey. No. I'm just not like that in general. I'm just a normal, like, we chill, we cool. I'm not lovey-dovey. We don't. It's not like that. So it's kind of like we chilled. Yes, we're gonna chill, but that energy, that conversation.
Y'all still gonna be rubbing y'all toes together on the couch? Exactly, because you're still mad.
You
like, you cannot do that. Like, you cannot hold on to that. And that's a growth. So that is something you could put a pin in and say, this is what I need to work on. This is what I need to grow at, because you cannot hold on to something like that. Like, and if you're not ready to talk about it, that's one thing. But holding on to it, that's a different thing.
I'm going to have to see how I handle that. I'm saying I'm going to see how I haven't been mad in a long time, so I don't know. I can't recall. I haven't been mad in a minute. So
I think healthy relationships and healthy exchange requires communication. So that is the complete. Why did you look at the ground? That's the complete opposite of what healthy communication looks like. It requires an exchange. It requires us talking. It requires us, and if we too heated right now to talk about it, let's come up with a time where we can come back and we can engage in conversation and we can talk about this without saying, I feel, or you. Take it like, I feel when you do this, I feel this way. Or when you do this, I feel that way. When you said that, it made me feel this way. Instead of like blaming the person and placing blame on that person, but to have a healthy relationship and to engage in a healthy compromise, there has to be communication. There has to be. So it's not just talking, it's also listening. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're going to get to say what you feel. You're going to get to say what you need, but you also have to listen to what they feel and what they need. And I think that's part of the keys that's missing, because relationships have become selfish. People have become selfish and self-centered and thinking that their opinion is the only thing that matters, or their needs are the only thing that matters. And that's a lot of times why relationships fail, a lot of times why friendships fail, a lot of times why a lot of ships fail, because they're one-sided. One person is only worried about what they need and not what each other needs. How can we help each other out?
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna put a pin in it.
Girl, you still thinking about the last thing I said. I'm crying. That's cool. I'm going to put a pin in it. I think, like, if you wanted to graduate, I guess, to healthy communication, you got to understand that we both have needs. We both have desires. We both have things that I might not always think that you're doing this or whatever, but I might not talk about I think the time is up, y'all. People is looking at me funny. I don't know what's happening. I'm talking about she giving me a strange look, y'all. Because we try to keep our episodes but this conversation was getting very good. I don't know how long it's been, but I'm gonna tell you that healthy communication, healthy relationships, and it requires a healthy level of communication. And so here's something to think about, or something that we could end the relationship. The episode. Are you expecting your partner to understand something you never actually communicated? Like when you're having.
Me?
You want to answer it?
No, I'm talking about. Are you asking me that?
No, just like in the
Yeah.
comments, like whatever. Like, are you expecting your partner to know these things that you've never really communicated? Because then that's the first place that you could start. Like, we've already unpacked here that Ashley needs to work on communicating.
I do communicate.
And not saying whenever I feel like talking to you, I'ma talk to you. I'ma get back to it. I don't know when.
That's
So
not
already
communicating. Though.
that's not communicating because you don't
That's
say it.
unhealthy communication.
It's unhealthy communication. So as we wrap up this episode, remember that your partner cannot meet the needs that they do not know exist. And healthy relationships grow when both people are willing to communicate honestly and listen with an understanding and listen with the intention of we're going to come together and figure out what we both need instead of expecting someone to read your mind, and learn to express what's on your heart. Like, I know it could be hard to express what you feel, but learn to express what's on your heart instead of automatically jump into like immature communication. What is it? Passive aggressive things or stuff like that. Like all the little stuff that we talked about. Yeah, but I guess we're out of time, and they say that I'm talking too much and whatever. But if you enjoyed this episode, let us know what stood out to you. And also, y'all, follow us on TikTok, subscribe, like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah,
All
until
right,
next time, peace.
She don't stop.
For anything, we keep it real, we keep it true.